my office, Skyline Smiles, I have a wall of fame. I have pictures of many Republican leaders, elected officials in the community, Jason Gibbs, Joe Messina. And once in a while, I get patients that come into my office, and when they see the pictures, you'd think their butt was on fire. They jump up and take off as if Trump was coming in the room. Well, I do have a picture of me and the homie on the wall, too. So after hearing certain Democrats complain about my prices, I look at them confused and say, how's Bidenomics working for you? It was so much better in my office when the Dems stayed home during COVID with their masks on. I wish they still did. So I have a secret hat I use sometimes. It says, make your smile great again. So I wear that when I work on my patients. So when they look horrified or complain, I quietly cut back on the laughing gas and say, you got this. It's not as bad as you think it is. I stole that from Joe Biden.
We've all heard the warnings. Be careful what you say, and especially what you post on social media, because it could come back to haunt you, even if you meant it as a joke.
So I have a secret hat I use sometimes. It says, make your smile great again. So I wear that when I work on my patients.
Santa Clarita dentist Dr. Harleen Graywall of Skyline Smiles, a self-proclaimed MAGA dentist, is facing criticism after making comments about patients who don't share her political views.
So when they look horrified or complain, I quietly cut back on the laughing gas and say, you got this. It's not as bad as you think it is.
Online reaction has been swift. Some users say they've reported Dr. Graywall to the California Dental Board. Others are leaving reviews like this one. This doctor bragged on video that she treats patients differently based on their political views. This is not just unprofessional, it is unethical and scary.
I think America is it's a free country. It's free speech.
Dr. Graywall says she did nothing wrong, and it was simply a joke she cracked at a Republican event 2 years ago.
Nobody's directly getting harmed from it. It's just, I'm making a joke. We all make jokes. And I'm sure the Democrats get in a room and make jokes about Republicans too.
It's not a joke. Laughing about inflicting pain as a dentist is not a joke. We have communities that fear going to the dentist and it can impact their health.
Rebecca Heinman runs the page Rise Up SCV. She shared the video of Dr. Graywall's remarks on Instagram, and it quickly went viral.
She may have thought she was making a joke, but that's representing herself and her business.
It is against the law to discriminate against someone based on their political beliefs.
Civil rights attorney James DeSimone says Dr. Graywall may have opened herself up to legal trouble, even if she says it was just a joke.
When you have a dentist who says that she's deliberately treating you differently because of your political beliefs, there doesn't seem to be anything too funny about that.
People should take light of the situation, like relax, chill. It's not that big of a deal to just make a joke every now and then.
Dr. Graywall says the dental board already launched an investigation on this very issue 6 months ago, and she says the board found nothing wrong. Reporting from Santa Clarita, I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
As you think it is.
Meet Dr. Harleen Graywall. She's a board-certified dentist and the owner of Skyline Smiles in Santa Clarita, California. Not only did this doctor publicly brag about causing harm for patients, she also bragged about how she preferred that certain patients didn't come into her office altogether.
It was so much better in my office when the Dems stayed home during COVID with their masks on. I wish they still did.
Unlike most people in the country, Dr. Graywall was celebrating a time when everyone was dying by the millions here in the United States because she had to serve less Democratic patients. Dr. Graywall has made it no secret that she is a MAGA supporter, and now she's publicly bragging about harming her patients intentionally. So if I were somebody and I wanted to comment on that or make sure that a business that intentionally harms patients never was allowed to do it again, this is the name of that business, in case you were a patient there and forgot.
You know that dentist I was talking about the other day that is MAGA has admittedly said that she plays with the, numbing gas if her customers show some kind of dislike for MAGA Republicans, right? Well, one of my people came into my comments and said, you know, her husband is a neurologist. Huh? That's even scarier. So I did a little bit more digging. Come to find out, he is a neurologist in Valencia. His practice is Valencia. He is a partner in the mind-body infusion company with his wife. And there's a write-up about this couple. Beautiful. In the write-up, Harleen is talking about how their business and personal go hand in hand and how they share the same views, they have the same goals, and he specializes in strokes. And the flags immediately went off like, that's hypertension, high blood pressure. That's something that impacts our community so much. I wonder if he shares the same views. Listen, I'm not here to ruin nobody's life or to make it hard for anybody. But when I hear about people purposely inflicting pain, that's the kind of racism when you have that kind of power over people and they come to you in their time of need, desperate time of need, and you do something like that. Maybe there should be some investigating into him too. I don't know. What do y'all think? When I'm on the phone with my friends or talking to family, these are the conversations that we have. If you guys want to have a conversation like this live, put live in the comments. For more political gossip, and this is gossip based on facts, okay, about these morons, follow me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Echo Room Vibes. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves because this next story, it's one of those what did I just hear moments that makes you question how far people will go to turn cruelty into a punchline. We give all the credit to the originators and stitches of this video. So let's just dive into the rest of the video and we'll be back for more commentary.
That MAGA pediatric dentist that got online and admitted to lowering the anesthesia on her pediatric patients based on their political beliefs should lose her license to practice dentistry in the state of California. She says that she has her office decorated with Make America Great Again posters of Republican officials, even one of her and Trump together. And then she has her dentist helmet that says, Make Your Smile Great Again. And based off of the pediatric patient's reaction, that alone will determine whether or not they get the full anesthesia during oral procedures. She says that she leans over to the patient, lowers the laughing gas, and then tells the child, see, it's not that bad. Yeah, that's medical malpractice. You are intentionally exposing children to unnecessary pain during oral procedures, and that is child abuse. Okay? And what's really sad is that apparently you got 11 medical malpractice lawsuits pending against you. Okay? Politics don't belong in a pediatric dental office. If they don't belong in school, they definitely don't belong in a medical setting, at a hospital, at a pediatric dental office, whatever. Okay? As part of the Make America Great Again movement, we don't claim her. Honestly, be so for real.
You have to remember that the person she was campaigning for in that video is Charlene Johnson, who is actually now a college board member in the city of Santa Clarita for the College of the Canyons. In case you want to see, she's right there. And here she is again looking ever so studious, but she's actually a realtor working for SJ Partners in Santa Clarita. So if you're in Santa Clarita or the surrounding areas and thinking about buying a house, you may want to reconsider whether or not you want to do that from a woman who celebrated and took money from a person who actively tried to harm her patients. In this photo, Charlene Johnson is celebrating that she's out campaigning with her son, who I'm not going to show here, but I wonder how she would feel if her son received some of the treatment that Dr. Graywall promised to do to Democrats. Is that what she would celebrate? Is that the kind of person you want to buy a house from? Let's also not forget that Dr. Graywall and her husband, Dr. Graywall, owned Mind Body Infusion, a med spa in Santa Clarita. So if you've ever received an injectable or some other kind of medical treatment there and experienced pain, you might have to wonder whether it was intentional on either one of their parts. Both of them have medical licenses that you can report to the state of California, and I'll put a screen grab at the end. Also, just one more bit of irony. She bragged in 2020 about setting up COVID testing. Remember, she celebrated Democrats not coming to her office during the pandemic because they were protecting themselves from COVID. Meanwhile, she was profiting from the vaccination services. Thank you to everyone who reported Dr. Graywall. This is her husband's identification if you'd like.
Seeing that MAGA dentists say that she treated other patients that weren't MAGA in a more harmful way, or whatever she said, because I couldn't even watch it all without getting upset. Just want to put that out there.
Welcome back, guys. So, out of Santa Clarita, California, a dentist, Dr. Helen Graywall, found herself under fire after admitting during a Republican event that she sometimes turns down the laughing gas on liberal patients. Yep, you heard that right. A medical professional, someone literally responsible for someone's comfort and pain management, bragged about quietly punishing patients for their political beliefs and called it a joke. Now, I know that what some will say, it's free speech, it's humor. She didn't actually hurt anyone. But let's unpack that. Because humor has always been one of the safest masks for hostility. You can say something cruel, wrap it in a laugh, and suddenly you are just joking. It's a familiar tactic in toxic spaces. You dehumanize someone, then retreat behind irony when called out. This isn't just about dentistry. It's about what happens when political division becomes so normalized that people start performing malice for applause. Imagine being in that chair, vulnerable, mouth open, trusting someone with sharp tools and anesthesia, and find loss of control. But this moment shows how deeply politics has infected our sense of basic empathy. Because once you start deciding who deserves comfort, you have already left the realm of medicine and entered the area of ideology. The internet, of course, reacted instantly. Reports to the dental board, Yelp reviews, viral outrage. Some people are cheering the investigation, others call it cancel culture. But this isn't about cancellation, it's about accountability. When your words reveal your bias in a field built on neutrality, that's not politics, that's malpractice. Let's be real. This story hits a nerve because it shows how casual extremism has become. The idea that you can mistreat people with a wink and smirk and then cry, joke, when it backfires. It's giving bigot in disguise. It's giving FAFO season. And it's definitely giving you just messed around and found out. But the deeper question here is, how many more people like her exist in professional spaces? People who hide behind credentials while quietly discriminating against those they disagree with. How many doctors, teachers, employers are laughing at us in the group chat while still cashing our checks? That's the discomfort this story exposes. The system we rely on for care and safety are only as humane as the people inside them. And when bigotry becomes entertainment, even your dentist's chair isn't safe. So yes, Dr. Graywall says it was a joke. But like many jokes in this era, it reveals more truth than comedy. It shows us that the divide isn't just it's not just in politics anymore. It's in ethics, in empathy, in the quiet decisions people make when no one's watching. And if there's one thing we have learned from this FAFO season, karma doesn't play favorites. Whether it's a MAGA dentist, a corporate exec, or a politician, when your joke comes at someone else's pain, it eventually stops being funny. Take care of yourself out there and your smiles, because apparently even that's political now. Thanks for watching from Echo Room Vibes. Peace out.